Hey everyone. Man, I might start off the gate with a hot take. I don't know if this sentence is a hot take, but I enjoyed SummerSlam 2025 more than WrestleMania 41. I feel like the whole event was just epic. I mean, I wrote down what happened, but let's just get the big news out of the way. Brock Lesnar is back. Like, first of all, the match between Cody Rhodes and John Cena was amazing. Part of me was wondering if Cena was just playing it up, was possibly like putting on a charade, and then eventually was going to go back to being a heel. But no, he, like, as soon as we saw the original video intro to show up, we knew he was okay. The face Cena is back, and halfway through the match, the crowd kept chanting Super Cena. And it was kind of shocking to see the crowd starting to turn against Cody Rhodes, because like when Cody put Cena into that contract signing, and he told him it's a scrimming. It's not just any fight, it's a street fight. It seems like the whole crowd was with Cody, but now it's like I was so nervous during that whole fight, like especially once they were getting into the crowd. No, let me get it. Okay, we are back. So I just really enjoyed the match between Cena and Cody. It was getting so intense, like I was almost silent. Me and Candice were watching it. We were completely silent watching it, and especially when Cody like undid the ropes and started hitting him with the cage. It was amazing, and especially when Cody hit him with the pile driver. Excuse me, and I love it. And I loved it when the crowd kept saying, "You can't do that." Yes, he can. That was just great. But man, part of me was thinking, I had this, it's like I wasn't necessarily rooting for one or the other, because when Cena was a heel, I wanted Cody to win, but now that face Cena was back, I was okay with either or happening. But I was just getting this sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach, like I was almost expecting The Rock to show up and start to do something really bad. But I was very pleasantly surprised when instead I heard Brock Lesnar's music. And now as a new WWE fan who only began watching during WrestleMania 40 last year, I have seen clips of Brock Lesnar, so I am fully aware of why Brock Lesnar is called the Beast, and so I'm very much looking forward to seeing what happens, because I kept saying, who would Cena fight next? What's going to happen? And then, as soon as you heard Brock Lesnar's music, it was like, oh, okay, I'm good with this. All right, if we want to do a rerun with all the legends, with the people from what the hell is that generation called? From the Ruthless Aggression era, I'm all here for it, because I never got to witness them live, and now I'm ready for it. Okay, so I wrote down everything that happened, but I wanted to talk about the Cena and Rhodes match first. But the first match we had was Rhea versus Io versus Naomi. I thought that match was amazing, and I loved that it looked like pretty much I didn't get what I wanted. Naomi ended up winning, still being the women's world champion, but it was a fantastic match through and through. And you'll have to forgive me because I'm running on fumes here because I'm exhausted. But next we had the 6 tag team TLC match. And I would say, yes, the Cena versus Rhodes match was intense, but this TLC match was fucking amazing. I almost feel like they added this match onto SummerSlam, because I don't know if you guys saw the TLC match on SmackDown after WrestleMania, but people were saying this should have been at WrestleMania, so I feel like them doing a TLC match here was great, but the most shocking moment was I forgot who pushed who, but when Tommaso bumped into Johnny and Candice fell off the ladder and then split down the middle onto another ladder. That was just a giant holy shit moment. But yeah, the Wyatt Six are still champions. But man, I'm loving the SmackDown tag teams because I've been watching them every week. I haven't missed an episode in several months, so I'm enjoying SmackDown, and I hope that this brings more attention to the SmackDown tag team matches, or the SmackDown tag team division overall, I will say. And then next up, we had Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. I was rooting for Lyra to win because watching old clips, I enjoyed seeing Becky as a face, but once she did the complete 100% heel turn, and forgive me because I might be getting all the details wrong, but was Becky a heel before? You people who have been watching wrestling far longer than me can educate me in the comments. But that was so intense. Like, especially, like, I thought that Lyra would be able to hit Becky with the crowbar, but then, they started choking each other with the chain and constantly whipping the shit out of each other with the kendo sticks, and it was so intense, especially when Becky, tied up Lyra. I was thinking, how the fuck is she gonna get out of this? It was just nuts. I would say, yeah, that was just intense. And then but at first, it's like Bayley showed up, and I thought, okay, is Bayley going to beat up Becky? And it would make sense, because at first I thought, oh wait, she's thinking about whether she's going to help out Lyra or not. So by the time she finally started beating up Becky, I thought she should have just taken I forgot, my memory's fuzzy, the weapon Becky was holding and using that against her. But man, Becky is such oh god, I hate that. How deviously clever she was when she ended up setting it up where Bayley accidentally hits Lyra. So I wonder what that's going to look like on Raw tomorrow, or when they're going to address the fallout of that it's Bayley's fault that now Lyra can no longer challenge for the Women's Intercontinental Championship now that Becky has beaten her, because that was the condition. She can no longer challenge for the IC as long as Becky is the champion. So I'm just wondering what's going to happen next with that. And then next up, we had Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa, the steel cage match. I was really enjoying it, and I don't know why I'm so dumb. I thought for whatever reason that Jacob's MFTs wouldn't get themselves involved, but they still did. But I was also not expecting Jacob get tied. I believe it was Tongaloa who handcuffed him to the top, and I just thought that was nuts. And he somehow got out of it. I think Michael Cole or Wade Barrett mentioned how Jacob got out of it, but I just wasn't too sure how that was going to happen. But also, but yeah, I wanted to see Jacob Fatu win. Now that Jacob turned on Solo, I've been rooting for Jacob ever since. But we'll just have to see what happens on SmackDown with that continuing storyline. And then last one I'm going to talk about, AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio. Of course, I'm rooting for AJ. I do not like Dirty Dom at all. Sure, he's probably a nice guy in real life, but as far as the characters in this story, I am not a fan of Dominic Mysterio, or I'm just not a fan of the Judgment Day in general. I just think they're a bunch of fucking douchebags. And I just thought it was so clever how at first AJ was going to hit Dom in the back. At first he was using the chair. And losing my train of thought rapidly. But I thought that AJ was, the way he played it off with playing it up on the chair, I thought it was clever. But this entire time, Dominic was planning this all along. He unzipped his boot, somehow knew AJ would take it off, and then used it against him when the referee wasn't looking. I thought, damn it, Dominic, I see what you did. And no wonder, and he was playing dirty. That's why they call him Dirty Dom. But yeah, Dominic won that one. But I also thought it was cool that AJ showed up in a lowrider wearing like gear inspired by Eddie Guerrero, like just as a callback to the 20th anniversary of that custody match for Dom when Dom was 8 between Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. That was pretty cool to see. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed SummerSlam. I'm just going to flat out say it. I had a more fun time with SummerSlam this year than I did with WrestleMania. And I guess I'm comparing the two because now SummerSlam is 2 nights, WrestleMania is 2 nights. So that's like the one big comparison I had to make. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to finally getting to see Brock Lesnar on live TV. Because I actually do have his seasoning. Actually, I'm going to press pause. I'm not going to finish it. So I actually have this Brock Lesnar seasoning. No, I'm not sponsored. It's actually pretty good. I just bought this on a whim, like when I was at Academy. Anyway, that's just a quick little tangent there. But anyway, I need to also address something. There were a lot of comments, clearly from people who are not wrestling fans at all. It said when I was like extremely upset with Seth Rollins cashing in on CM Punk when CM Punk finally won a WWE Gold for the first time, and it's either, I forget, like 14 years or 12 years, somewhere, at more than a decade. And there were people like viciously, brutally attacking me, insulting me in those comments. That's how I felt in the emotion. I mean, like, as a fan of entertainment, didn't you get pissed off whenever in one of your favorite movies when the villain gets away with it? It's the same thing with me. You know, all that anger and hatred I had, that's not me taking it seriously. That's me being upset with the story. I know I'm not actually upset at Seth Rollins. I've seen Seth Rollins on the Last Meal show. I believe it was on the Good Mythical Kitchen channel. I've seen multiple interviews. Like when you saw Seth Rollins on Family Feud, he seems like a great guy. Just like I don't hate Becky Lynch in real life. The fact that people said, "Jared, you're taking this way too goddamn serious," it's like, yeah, I know. I was mad. I was mad at Seth Rollins, the character, being a fucking asshole and getting away with it, and just you know what I mean? And the fact that people say, "Don't you know pro wrestling is fake? You're so pathetic. You need to grow up." Blah 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 blah. Pretty much, I'll just end it with this because I gotta get this shit off my chest. Because if I don't do it now, I'm gonna keep holding it inside. It's gonna boil until it explodes. If you have nothing to contribute to the subject of the video, if the only reason you are subscribing to me is to insult me or to see or just to insult me or just wanting to see me fail, then please fucking unsubscribe, because any of you people that are only here just to watch me, just to be hateful and just to be rude, get the fuck away from here. Because you know who I want on my channel? People who love music, movies, video games, Marvel, DC, WWE, the NBA. That's what I make videos about. And so the people who are here to support me, that like to watch my content, thank you very much. I wouldn't be here without you. And the rest of you who are only here to say, "Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a girlfriend yet?" All of you can fuck off. Because this channel is not made for that audience. All right? I'm glad I got that off my chest. But now with that being said, I'm going to guess tomorrow on Monday we're going to see Brock Lesnar confront John Cena for the first time. I'm excited for that. So anyways, what did you think of SummerSlam? And yeah, just let's keep the comments about SummerSlam. And I'll make a video talking about Monday Night Raw tomorrow. All right? See you guys next time. Bye.